been to Bayfront Park many times. It's a great family destination. I take my kids and my dog. My husband and I go walking there with our family. We love Bayfront Park.
I go to Bayfront Park once a year when the Cub Scout troop that my two sons are a part of has a day where they shoot off rockets.
People go out there and jog, people go out and run, kids ride bikes out there.
It's got a lot of trails to walk on. It's a beautiful place.
Oh, well, it seems to appeal to people who like open space and to do things sort of their own volition, I guess, as opposed to doing it in an organized way.
It's important to me because it's kept pretty natural. I love climbing up to the summits and looking down at the salt flats and looking at the marsh. And we love the prairie dogs. We were laughing about them today and watching the hawks circle around to look at them. So I think this is one of my favorites, not only for the dog, but because I feel like I can get away from my urban kind of suburban life, I guess.
This park is centrally located and accessible by people from all walks of life.
Menlo Park decided that it would take it over as a park and continue the transition into a park. The landfill was still operative, but it would manage the funds that were coming in for the landfill, and then it would develop the park, and it would be a park in perpetuity, open space, open to everybody.
The positioning that you got from the people who opposed this development effort was that this is this precious, priceless, natural resource. It's one of the last pieces of open space and greenery and quiet and solitude. But if you've been over there to shoot off rockets for the Cub Scouts, what you see, what I saw, was a former city incinerator, which then, after the laws were passed in the 60s to make burning trash illegal, became the city landfill, and then they put dirt over the top of it, and so you have this frankly very desolate place with no landscaping and scrub trees sitting on top of a former garbage dump.
The proposal was to convert Bayfront Park, which is a former landfill, to a golf course and soccer and baseball fields.
Menlo Park is facing, and has for years been facing, really significant financial challenges because of the fact that we have not allowed enough development to generate sales tax.
The city's not spent any money on the park. That money comes from the park's trust fund. And so the park, up until now and through the next 4 or 5 years, basically will pay for itself.
There were some things wrong with this proposal, and it needed a lot of public comment and probably some redesign in order to address what I think were some valid objections. Where they wanted to put the athletic fields was right where the nicest part of Bayfront Park was, which is the pond right there at the front. And so they were going to fill that in and put athletic. That was probably not the best proposal of all time.
So no, I've never heard about the fact that they were thinking of turning it into a golf course, and I would not like that at all, because this is kind of like my sanctuary to get away from sort of people and perfectly coiffed lawns, so I would love to keep it the way it is.
It really is truly a regional park, and it's one of the few parks that you see such a diverse group of citizens using the park. You see people of every skin color utilizing that park, which isn't always the case.
Our estimates are that there are probably about 600 people a week use the park, and that's about this. It seems about the same whether it's summer or winter.
What you find is there's not very many people there, handfuls of people, and many of the people that are there for in order to distribute drugs
No,
heavy
we asked
history.
the police, we asked the rangers about, because there was this rumor put out that they were finding drug paraphernalia in the bathrooms, you know, or that the homeless were sleeping there, you know, the sort of thing that people always say when they want to sour you on some place that you want to go to. And according to the people we talked with, the rangers and the police and so forth and so on, there was no particular activity of any negative sort out there.
Let's just think about who actually goes to Bayfront Park. If you drive over there into the parking lot, unless the police are coming through, most of the people that you will see over there are gang members.
I have not run into, quote, gang members in terms of being assaulted or confronted or even feeling remotely uncomfortable.
If you stand at the highest point in Bayfront Park and you just look around, just do a 360 around, on really spectacular scenery, just spectacular views in every direction, as long as you don't look down below your chin. Because if you look down below your chin, what you'll see is places in the ground where it's caved in. My remark is that Bayfront Park is an ugly eyesore, white elephant, and people are scared to visit it.
Well, I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think hills covered with green grass or long golden grass with a few trees are quite lovely, because most of California looks like that in the summertime.
I do think open space is important, and for me open space is related to the fact that it isn't manicured by people. It's kept natural with sort of natural plants, and I know this was a landfill, but it's turning back into what it was naturally here before, and I like to have space that's untampered by humans.
Bayfront Park, which is a hilly park, which has got debris underneath and all the other things that come with the old dump, is not a good place to try to flatten it out and put sports fields there. I mean, we'd be happy to see them elsewhere, and we've supported all the efforts to do that. But you can't get mad at Bayfront Park because it is what it is.
The land uses are just not compatible. Wildlife refuge, you know, active sports recreation, they just don't go together.
It benefits me personally because it allows you to get away from all the things that drive you crazy about living in a city.
You know, we have such busy lives, and we need the peace and quiet of open space to rejuvenate our spirits.
It is really important that you and your generation get involved, because if nobody stands up for open space, it's going to be lost.